All right. Sitting here thinking, thinking out loud. Probably it's like a diary almost. I I just wanted, people to understand that life is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And I know some females, especially when you get into new relationships, and if they're not confident with their relationships and stuff, they um, okay, they oh, this ain't going to. It's kind of like yeah, um, they feel insecure and they be like directing smart comments and stuff to females that probably done went on with their life, having a good life, thinking, you know what I'm saying, of themselves, you know what I'm saying? Just thinking of themselves. But you got, especially men who get them very young females, very immature in certain matters. You know, if I done had the D or whatever like that, I mean, girl, please, go on. Go on with that. You know what I'm saying? Continue to build upon your relationship, whatever it is that y'all have. You know what I'm saying? You can't be worrying about if your man is talking to somebody else, if your man still have feelings for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing you fear the most could happen. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have confidence within yourself. All right, you gotta love yourself and know that you're really worthy of it. You're really worthy of that person's love or whatever it is that you hope and pray for. Me personally, I'm just moving forward with my life. The whole world is here for me to be able to explore. And in spite of what it looked like, I'm a very, very, very beautiful person, um, with much class, believe it or not. I mean, of course, I know how to be ghetto, or I wouldn't really call it ghetto, but I know how to, you know, what some people will say is like improper. Okay. Um, I'm loving myself. I feel good about who I am. If I wanted to stay with any of my exes or something like that, you know what I'm saying? I could have, and I probably more than likely still can. You know what I'm saying? I keep them as like friends or associates and stuff like that normally. But if we ever decide that we want to get back together, then that's just what it is. I mean, more you probably couldn't get upset or angry if you came into a relationship knowing that he was already involved with somebody. That's his mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like probably his drive. That's you know a part of who he is until he understand him more deeper. When he understand himself more, then excuse me, he might not be like that. But then there is some men who will probably never change. I can't settle for somebody, you know what I'm saying, who wants to have other females. I probably maybe at one point in time I probably could. It probably been fun. But these females and even the men are like treacherous. My husband, you know what I'm saying, is he's good to me. Okay. He's very, very good to me, and I enjoy everything that he is. I honor him. You know what I'm saying? I respect him. I give him everything that, some of the male friends that I had rejected or didn't accept it or didn't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? He does. So I give him even more, you know. I allow him to understand my innermost parts of me. Okay. Um, I desire him, and not to the point where he's ruling over me. because he has this thing where we respect one another. He loves me, enough to allow me to be free, to do the things that I enjoy and that I love, and I allow him to do the same thing. And that's what relationships is all about. It's about growing and evolving and making sure that both of the partners, the individuals, understand um, the boundaries as well as the forms of freedom that they're bringing into a relationship. Okay. I can relate to him. That's why it's called relationship. Ship usually just means togetherness, a form of, you know, agreeing and enjoying things that brings people like happiness or something. You feel me? So I am just surprised sometimes that some people just don't understand what like relationships are. Then other people miss the chance of happiness, of being happy, of being happy. Yeah, look, I made my own shield thingy, like this basket top. Hey, listen, ghetto. Why again? It feels good too during the daytime, like when that sun be beaming. You put a thing on there, it's like, oh my gosh, it just feels awesome. It feels really awesome. And I really didn't want to say too much about anything. I just want y'all to know that um enjoy yourselves, you know what I'm saying? Have fun with life. Don't don't be directing your hate or jealousy to people who is probably, not giving two damns about you, or even probably about the individual, because they love themselves too much. They understand value and they understand worth. Okay. All right. So sometimes we have to grow up. I know it's kind of hard sometimes when you care about somebody and you be giving them yourself and it feel like you're going unnoticed, and sometimes you feel like you're playing tug of war with his heart and with his emotions, and it feels as though like sometimes the only way to get to his heart, you know what I'm saying, like you can never have the key to his heart. That's what it feels like sometimes. I completely understand, been there, you know what I'm saying. And yeah, I mean, if half of his heart is somewhere else, then yeah, it's practically impossible if he's thinking of someone else or doing things with other people, or even sometimes like when you're in a relationship and stuff, and you could feel like he's kind of distance, like you can do any and everything, but it still probably won't be good enough because I mean his heart is really somewhere else. And you gotta like have the key. You have to have the key to it. A nigger. It's good to see you, nigger. Alright, nigger, just for the record, like it comes from the word Nigerian, like a Nigerian king. It means a wise person. And how would you even know that I do readings? Anyway, um, you have to be ignorant to really feel as though that That shit doesn't hurt me. I am a daughter of the Most High God. God created me beautiful. You know what I'm saying? He created me with love. He created me without any forms of prejudice. Did y'all know that? He created me. He created me with. Why would you say something like that? That's not nice. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I get, I don't really have forget any tests, but I'm not even gonna get into anything like that. You're just weird, yo. And it's not good to be saying things like that. Anyhow. Um, so with that being said, no, someone had called me a nigger. Several people that is saying nigger, and they're like, those words no longer hurt people who understand that they are gods. You do understand, like I understand that my ancestors, you know what I'm saying, is like pharaohs. You know what I'm saying? I understand that my ancestors is the one that helped build these nations. I'm not worried about, somebody calling me a nigger. My skin is beautiful. You will want to kill for it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's melatonin and it has, beautiful elements of the rainbow, and it keeps me from burning, you know what I'm saying, with the sun come out. Now, me personally, I love Caucasian people, even though they have very pale skin. They haven't done anything for me. They're just a different color than who I am. It's sad that some people are, they have a very low frequency. They have a very low vibration. But for the most part, I love myself. I enjoy myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna continue to rise, and as I continue to rise, and we continue to build our nations, and we continue to grow with strong faith and strong healing and strong love. You know what I'm saying? We continue to embrace, everything that is good, and I just want to say that I'm grateful. I'm grateful that God created me. Like somebody had said something like a happy thingy or whatever. I'm like, well, what color is your Jesus? You know what I'm saying? What color is God? What color is he? Um, it really doesn't matter. I pray for you though. I pray that your eyes be awakened to see how good, the beauty of life is, and how awesome God is, and the freedom of love and expressing um, everything that God is doing for the people. I would continue to pray for y'all in spite of all the things that happen to African Americans and stuff like that, like dealing with, police cruelty, things like that and stuff. It comes from the lack of understanding of one race to another. But that's okay. Like, not the racist thing is not really okay. It just shows that they have lack of understanding of another person or another individual and stuff like that. But yeah, Jesus Christ is awesome. And we all understand that, the Bible came from Africa. The Bible, they transferred from, Ethiopia all the way to Greek. When it transferred the words to Greek, it became the word biblos, and that means that the word became in biblos means books. It means Bible, which means, books with inside books, and the books were open. So that's where the Bible originally came from, is um upon the African, the studies of Mahat. And that's where, like, in the thought, the emerald tablets and stuff, and it was, duplicated so that we can continue to have understanding of having laws of natures and things that govern us, that help us to be able to have the freedom to express ourselves in a positive way. Somebody might call me an animal, and then I say, well, look at my behavior, and then look at yours. You know what I'm saying? I have witnessed to some people doing the cruelest things to the most innocent people, and and they have the audacity to call them, derogatory names and stuff. But that's neither here or there. We still got to continue. I must continue to love because that's what I'm built of. I'm built to love. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to know me, you know what I'm saying, or even understand who I am. I have my days just like everybody else. I have my journey upon this walk. But one thing that I don't do is hate people. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody. I always have, in spite of their differences, in spite of their lack of understanding of races, or, the way that people do things besides going against one's free will. To me, anything and I believe in the freedom of expression. But if you're like hurting babies, children, or forcing people to do things that they don't want to do, then that's the only time that I, raise red flags and stuff like that. But hate hate crimes and things like that, you know what I'm saying? Um, like saying certain things. These things doesn't really, it doesn't do anything. At least in all these races. He is such a sent me to his anime. So what is this? What is this that is on here anyway? To all these races. Such a what? I don't really know anything about what that is, but I do understand what love is, and I do understand what life is, and I do understand how to love life. Okay, so that's pretty much all that I want to say, is that when you build in your relationships, continue to look to one another with love and compassion. I seen somebody understand that there is a name called Jesus, and because you understand that there's somebody by the name of Jesus whom you have worshipped, or whatever the situation is, then you understand what love is. You know what I'm saying? So just um continue to love each other. Okay. What is, I don't know how you, are y'all actually like talking to me, or is it like some type of thing that I tapped into or something? Hmm. Oh, maybe you are talking to me. Yeah. So, pretty much like as I was speaking of earlier, is that when you go to the halls, the original halls is what we're speaking of upon the Bible. You'll see that the names are written, I think called hieroglyphics. This was the first way of understanding words, you know what I'm saying? Then it was passed down to something called papyrus. Papyrus is like a stone. It's stone that comes from the water. And then they would write things down on tablets. The tablets are stone tablets, which could not be destroyed. So, upon the land, they came up with also math, arithmetic, dance, you name it. You know what I'm saying? It came from the pharaohs and stuff like that. But that wasn't the, the meaning of life. What we understood to be as life was to continue to help other nations grow as well. We really didn't understand hatred. The truth is, we didn't understand hatred. Um, we treated even the lowest as one of the highest. You know what I'm saying? We understood everybody as being one. And when certain types of entities or whatever had exposed some of the what we call pure breeds to their way of thinking. It kind of corrupted and disturbed and perverted the word of truth. Um, so if anybody wants to look it up, they can see that if you go to anyway, if you go there, you'll see that there's the stuff is written on African. It has knowledge and wisdom and understanding on hieroglyphics, and then it's translated and it gives you the understanding on the way to build the golden city. Something, even the emblem, the symbol of water, everything that is here upon America is a duplicate of Egypt, um, including the bird, the eagle. And it's there for a reason so that we can continue to pass the torch, which represents the Statue of Liberty, so that we may continue to have life. Everywhere we go, we see everyone as an individual who has come to explore this place called Earth. Okay. Now, I want everyone to know and understand that you are loved. And if anyone haven't told you, I love you and I don't even know you. But that's because God is love and God gives me love and God grants me love. And it's easy for me to love. It's actually kind of hard for me to hate or dislike someone, but at times I rather separate myself from people who may not understand who I am, because I might I might be on a different, like their way of thinking of me or thinking of things may be different. You know what I'm saying? So some of the greatest things that I have to say to an individual, if they're filled with any forms of hatred, if they feel with any forms of jealousy or envy, sometimes they cannot receive um, the words of, goodness or greatness or kindness and stuff. A lot of time people send rumors on people having, like, I have been misunderstood on many occasions. Sometimes I have even, been pushed to the limit where someone has really done many things to me before I actually respond. And people will get a glimpse of, like, because I'm like, y'all just need to get somewhere, and saying or something like that. There's been occasions where I have done things like that. But sometimes people only see a portion or a small glimpse to someone's life, and they be like, I will continue to live in love because that's who I am. I am, you know, somebody who cares about people. I care about your children. You know what I'm saying? I care about your husband and wife. I care about our future. You know what I'm saying? I want fruits, to come. I want to I want to make sure that the future that we have to look forward to is not going to always be about war, hatred, and jealousy, and this mindset of poverty, or that's not the word I'm thinking of, but that's the word that comes to mind. And I want everyone to be able to have wisdom and understanding and know that scarcity, that's what it's called. Scarcity. Okay? That is scarcity. And then some people don't understand another, like, my skin, I have color to my skin, but I am a spirit first. And I'm not going to sit here and say I hate my skin when I don't. I love my skin. I love your skin. And I love your skin because God created you in his image. He created me in his image, which means an expression of who he is. He created multitudes upon multitudes of different colors, of different races and different sizes. You know what I'm saying? We're all expressions of who he is. That's how infinite he is. He took one little sperm side or whatever, and he just created, and from them little things, created people, humans. He created us, and we just continue to multiply because it lets you know that his mind is infinite. Like it just continue to evolve. We're just the expression of God, and I love God. Y'all can just, I don't know what to say to y'all. Y'all can just love God. You know, if you dislike me for anything, just try not to hold too much hatred within inside yourselves, that you will miss your blessings. God bless you as well. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight. And we got to continue to pray for this generation as we continue to have our eyes open to the truth. The truth is love, and love is light. Okay, may we continue to manifest and pray for our neighbors, that this nation will continue to stand and continue to be strong. Okay, with that, God be the glory.